You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome on this Friday afternoon. Usually I do my podcast early in the morning because I'm fresh, I'm ready to go, but I had so much to do today that I couldn't get to my podcast. Listen, we're going to talk about California, and we're going to talk about AB 5 and trying to repeal it because it's a very, very bad law. It attacks every small business guy that's out there. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
So yesterday in the California State Assembly, Assemblyman Kevin Kiley introduced AB 1928, which was supposed to repeal AB 5 because AB 5 is a disaster for the small guy who's starting out doing his private practice, or he might be a physical therapist and working several contracts. He might be a writer who is writing magazine articles or newspaper articles or even television scripts and everything else. And it affects musicians and it affects a whole group of people. And it was a very badly written bill. Lorane Gonzalez, who is an assembly person from San Diego, very, very liberal, saw a way that she could get more money for the state of California. That's what they always think about, these assembly people. How can we get and suck more money, more tax dollars out of the citizens of California? So she first was going to attack Uber and Lyft and all of these companies that are known as gig companies. The problem is it's hurt a lot of people because they begin losing their jobs, losing contracts, and they're no longer able to do the work that they used to do. And it's hurt people like translators who work from project to project to project, client to client to client. So these individuals have been devastated by this new law in the state of California. In fact, Lorane Gonzalez even admits that there's something wrong with the law. So what she did, instead of just attacking the gig community, the Lyft community, the Uber, what she did is she attacked everybody. People who had run their own businesses, filed their Schedule Cs for business or profession on their federal tax returns. These guys were real business people. They were doing their thing. Now they can't do it because they say the state of California wants everybody to be a W-2 income earner. Because that way they can get the state payroll taxes out of everybody. Now, these individuals who have been independent contractors have been paying into the state, and they have been paying into the federal governments because they file every single year as independent contractors. I have the windows open into my office today because I'm in Palm Beach, Florida, and it is 65 degrees. It's cool. It's cold. The air is crisp coming off the ocean. So I have all my windows. So you're going to hear sirens and you're going to hear dogs bark. You're going to hear all this stuff. Cars go by. I don't care because it's so nice and cool. We were at 81, 85 degrees 2 days ago. And then all of a sudden, whammo, bammo, it went down to cold. This morning when I woke up, it was 43 degrees. It was so nice. I had all the windows open. It was so nice just to get that nice, cool air in. Anyway, back to this disaster in California. Now, I have a lot of clients in California, and I'm representing them on this bill because I feel that it needs to be repealed because it's hurt them badly. Now they can no longer start their business. They can no longer be in private practice because of the way that state of California is going after these people to become W-2 wage earners. Now, they exempted one group, physicians, doctors. They exempted them. Even though there's a whole bunch of individuals in the medical profession that do the same type of contract work as doctors. But physicians were exempted. So, Kevin Kiley wrote a bill in 1928. He presented it to the State Assembly yesterday to get a vote. And I think it was 50 to 15. 50 Democrats against, 15 Republicans for. That's how lopsided the State Assembly is in California. They are dominant in California. They control that state house. And they control it so badly that there's a lot of dumb laws that go through there. And most of it is trying to generate revenue for the state of California. Now, we just found out 2 days ago that the state lottery, which was originally designed for schools, right? Was mispaying the state of California, the school system in the state of California. And it was by millions of dollars. Because what happens is that in the state of California, when they pass a law, such as the gas tax law, the higher rate of gas taxes in the state of California, they immediately begin sucking that dry. So that money does not go to roads, it doesn't go to infrastructure, it doesn't go to anything, except to pet projects of various members of the assembly, which is controlled by the Democrats. So with this AB 1928, it was supposed to repeal AB 5. It was supposed to repeal and go back to the way it used to be when people could be independent contractors. But the Democrats said no, they don't want it to go. In fact, the headline, I think it was, Democrats again keep a law that hurts independent contractors. So Assemblyman Kevin Kiley, he really tried, and he's going to continue trying. Now, let me tell you something. The law is written so bad that Lorane Gonzalez, who wrote the law, said, well, we want to keep the law, but I know there's problems, but I'm going to make some changes. It's very minute changes because the way that she has structured it is it creates more red tape. So in other words, if you want to become an independent contractor in the state of California, under her new thinking, is that you have to be able to show as an employer that you cannot find anybody to fill that position. In other words, you're not filling that independent contractor spot before you have tried to fill it in some other way. So once again, it's a bunch more red tape. Now, the state assembly knows it's a badly written bill, this AB 5. There are 30 bills in the assembly right now, 30 bills in the assembly to change some part of AB 5. Instead of doing what AB 1928 would just be to repeal and then maybe address things as time goes by. But no. So there's 30 bills sitting out there at the moment going to change something in AB 5. Now, we know that with any change that comes out of the state assembly, there's going to be more red tape associated with it, because that's how they think and that's how they do things there. I am so frustrated with the state of California because it is so stupid and so socialist. And they do not care about Californians. What they care about in their main focus and love are the special interest groups, because those groups, those special interest groups or SIGs, they pump a lot of money into these people's campaigns. And they take them on free jaunts, and they take them on free education. Listen, we're going to talk about XYZ. And so they take them to the Bahamas, or they take them to Mexico, or they take them. The Democrats are so tied into these special interest groups that they cannot wean themselves away in order to support the average Joe, the Californian in the state. The biggest special interest groups there are the unions. AFSME, Local 3299, American Federation of State and County Workers. California Faculty Association, California Federation of Teachers, California Labor Federation, California Nurses Association, California Police Chiefs Association, California School Employees Association, California State University Employees Union, California Statewide Law Enforcement Association, National Union of Healthcare Workers, Peace Officers Research Association of California Professional, and the list goes on. And these guys, and the number one there is the Prison Guards Union. They contribute the majority into these campaigns, lobbying the state assembly. And it's not just millions, it's billions of dollars that goes into the state of California for the lobbying effort. Democrats love money. Even though they're always telling you the greedy, the rich are greedy, the greedy. No, it is the Democratic politician that is greedy for that money, especially in California. And that's where it stands at the moment, is that the state of California Assembly are bought and paid for by special interest groups, and most of it is through unions. So the small guy like me, small guy like you, who are trying to operate our little business out of our home, we're being attacked. And we have nobody to represent us. Even the Chamber of Commerce. That's why I left the Chamber of Commerce in Los Angeles, because they were not focusing on small business or even businesses at all. They were always looking at politics. That's why I stopped going, because it was always about politics. So you have got to understand that the state of California is so corrupted by special interest groups that nothing can be done for the California unless Californians change Sacramento. And the problem with that, as I see it, is that the Californian, the guy, the mom and pop, the mom and dad that are sitting there in their house are trying to survive. They don't care about the politics of the state. They're trying to live every single day. They're working 2 and 3 jobs because state of California is so expensive and so aggressive on income taxes and sales taxes and gas taxes and a whole bunch of other taxes that they're trying to survive. So they don't care, and they don't pay attention of what's going on in Sacramento. So they vote these people in not knowing what their political agenda is. Oh, they will make you a promise. They will say, oh, we're going to try and get you free education. We're going to try and get you health care benefits. We're going to protect the illegal aliens. We're going to give free education away. And the thing goes on. And we're going to do more on our infrastructure, but they never do anything. They never do anything on the infrastructure. And the roads of California are getting worse and worse and worse. And if you look at the federal government, money that is going into like San Francisco, it is hundreds of millions of dollars that go into the city of San Francisco, and their streets are as dirty and disgusting as ever. Same thing in Los Angeles. The day that I was moving out of Los Angeles, they had this article that came onto the radio that said they're having to remove the carpeting in the city hall because there are fleas, which were generated by rats, which were generated by the homeless living next to City Hall. But they don't do anything about them. They don't enforce any laws. They don't help these people. They don't do anything, even though they are getting millions and millions of dollars from the federal government. Now, members of Congress could stop that and say, listen, we're not going to let any more money in there until you prove to us that you've done this, and this. But they don't do it because they're Democrats. Democrat congresspeople represent Los Angeles and San Francisco. Listen, by the way, if you are in San Francisco, and if you are in Nancy Pelosi's district, I want you to consider and vote for John Dennis, who is a Republican. And he's a good guy, and he's going to work for you. And he has a lot of things on his mind about San Francisco where he lives. He's fed up with individuals dirtying his streets and making it a criminal area. One day he went out and decided that he was going to clean up, and who attacks him? Antifa. And you know who sent Antifa? Some of the supervisors in San Francisco City Hall. So see how dirty it is. I mean, it is just dirty politics. This money has got to be cut off from these states, especially the state of California, where they do not enforce the laws and they do not protect Californians. And they're wasting so much tax dollars. I mean, billions of tax dollars that flow into the state of California, and it's wasted every single day. So 1928 is still going to be out there, and Kyle is still going to work on it. But he needs your help. And he needs your help by calling if you are in the state of California, you need to start calling your assembly member's office. And you need to start pounding on their doors. And you need to start taking your business and business groups up to Sacramento and begin pounding on them and telling them, you had better change this law or we're going to change you out of office. That's the only way that you can make any change in the state of California. I'm sorry, but California business people have got to become more aggressive about what is happening in Sacramento. Your voice has got to become stronger and louder and pounding on the table of these people in the assembly and in the state senate. It is going too far to the left where it is now almost a totally 100% socialist state. Where the government has all of the power that can tell you what to do, tell you how much taxes you're going to pay, what are you going to get for health care, etc., etc. That is the direction that California is going. And if you as Californians don't stand up and don't become aggressive with these members of the Assembly and the Senate, it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. I'm asking you now, support Assemblyman Kiley in AB 1928. He needs your help. AB 5 has got to go. I want you to start calling Lorane Gonzalez office up there in Sacramento and start saying, we want it changed. We want it gone. We want it reversed. We want it repealed. Because you've hurt my business. You've hurt my livelihood. You've hurt my family. You've hurt my friends. You've hurt my whole existence to remain in California. Or, I tell you what you can also do. Start looking at other states. Florida, no state tax. No rules on independent contractors. Go to the state of Arizona. Go to Nevada. No state income taxes. Go to Texas. Lower cost of living. No income taxes. Why in the world do you want to stay in a state of California where it's a state of chaos? Now, I was born in California. I love California. But I saw the direction that it was going. So for 3 years, I planned to shut down my offices in Los Angeles. I started 3 years ago. Because I wanted to let my clients go bit by bit by bit. Because I just didn't want to abandon them all at one time and say, okay, I'm done with it. So I started 3 years ago. July of 2019, I finally shut down the offices in Burbank, California. And I moved everything to Florida. It wasn't because I wanted to do it, it's because I had to do it. I saw the writing on the wall that the state of California was getting worse and worse and worse. And it was no longer a viable place to really do business. It's no longer a viable place to really do startups. I tell you, if you go to Greenville, South Carolina, startups are booming there. Boeing is there. BMW is there. BF Goodrich is there. And when there are those kind of large companies, you have smaller companies that support these larger companies. And so there's a lot of startups there. If you go here into Florida, we have a lot of companies starting up here or moving their companies completely over here to Florida. And they're doing it because they need to move to friendly states. States that want them there. States that want jobs. States that want people to be employed. People that want to start new businesses, new technologies, new healthcare services. But you can no longer do that in California because it is too expensive. You can't even build a new skilled nursing facility. Nursing homes are too expensive to build because the amount of money that you need to have in capital for each and every single bed is over $100,000. It might even be more than that. That was 3 years ago. So no new skilled nursing facilities can be built because it's too expensive. So you have all of these old facilities that they try to repair every single year, but I'm telling you, if you have no new facilities and the compliance issues are so extensive in the state of California that it's not even worth putting any money in the state of California. So if you look at the state, you see a state that is socialist driven and is tax driven and is red tape driven. They make it very difficult for all businesses in the state of California. Now you look at the state, then you have to look at the county level. The counties are doing the exact same thing as what the states are doing. The cities are doing the exact same thing as what the state is doing. So if you live in the state of California, in the city of Los Angeles, you have more rules and regulations. Like if you want to get a building permit, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and it is going to take forever to get that building permit. Because there are all of these environmental studies that have to be done that cost millions of dollars to do. One of the councilman of the city of Los Angeles 2 weeks ago said, listen, we think it would be very advisable for owners of apartment buildings to sell them because now, the state has gone into a rent-controlled state. The city of Los Angeles is rent-controlled. So the city officials are saying, well, maybe we're going to have to force some of these people to sell. Why? Because they want more taxes, that's why. Right now they're trying to overthrow Prop 13, which kept taxes stable, property taxes stable. Well, the state of California, the Attorney General wants more taxes, so they're trying to get rid, and they're being very sneaky about this and disguising it as a school proposition. But what it does, it gets rid of Prop 13. So they can raise those property taxes up as much as they want to. Under Prop 13, they can't do that. So you see how California has become. They have become so anti-business and so anti-Californian that they spend no time in thinking, how will laws affect these individuals? Instead, their focus is, how can we get more tax money how can we squeeze them out? We need more. Even though they're wasting billions of dollars every single year, especially on that train system. It's a total waste of money. So I'm asking you today, please, 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 call your members of the Assembly and say you need to support AB 1928 because we need to repeal AB 5. We need to put the livelihoods back into Californians' hands, and so that they can continue on building businesses. You remember, an independent contractors sometimes start very small, but they're able to build great businesses, big businesses. Just think of Microsoft, or think of Apple Computer as they started in Palo Alto, California, or Sunnyvale, California. And they started in the garage. They were independent contractors. They were starting in the garage, creating these products. So California has just shot themselves in the foot, because there are a lot more Steve Jobs out there. There's a lot more people like that. There's a lot of people like Wozniak. There's a whole bunch of people that want to become big. But now the state of California said, no, you have to be an employee. So you lose your licensing rights to anything that you come up with. So, again, I can talk about this over and over and over again, but the state of California needs your help. If you're a Californian, please just don't sit there. Get up and fight back. Get up and fight back. America needs you. I need you. Small business needs you. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you very soon. Everybody go out and have a great weekend. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.